welcome back.
Yeah.
Today, me, Maria, and Lindsay, as usual,
Yeah.
we are former college roommates who both really love film. Lindsay got a degree. I've been critiquing film for like 20 years. And so we talk about movies that we have missed. And so this one is a classic, cult classic. I saw it way back when Netflix was still doing DVDs because it was the only place you could get it. And then I kept it for like a few weeks and made everybody watch it. I was able to get a copy of my own eventually, and even made friends who were visiting. We were all going to a convention and made them all watch it, and they
Sorry,
haven't
guys.
forgiven me ever since.
We are going through it in Missouri. I'm sorry. My power just went out and went back on.
That's all right. I was still doing the intro.
Yeah.
You just looked amused. I figured something was happening though. So,
Yeah.
but today we are discussing the infamous, notorious, famous movie, The Room, which I am so surprised Lindsay had not seen. Only because there had been, a movie about the making of the movie, because like that's how like notorious this film is.
Yeah.
That came out a few years ago, and oh gosh, I can't remember the name of that one.
The Disaster Artist.
The Disaster Artist. Yes, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like based on a book written by the co-star Greg Sestero of The Room. So yes.
Oh goodness. Yeah.
Now, I don't know about other cities, but in Atlanta we have a theater called the Plaza, and they do all kinds of films. They'll do first runs, they'll do older films, they'll do festivals. They do the Atlanta Film Festival, really. And another thing they do, of course, they have the Rocky Horror Picture Show. You go and you participate and stuff, and people are on stage, all that kind of stuff, right? But they have the same thing for The Room.
Yeah, they're playing it here in a couple of weeks.
You should go. You should go.
Well, I don't know.
It's so much fun. It's so much fun to like see it with a whole bunch of other people, maybe not be sober and have a good time.
Now, when you mentioned the not be sober part, that might be a good idea.
Right?
Yeah.
And one of the things they do at our screenings anyway, is, I don't know if you noticed this while watching the movie, but they did bring it up in some of the videos I put on the playlist. People will go next door to Publix and buy, which is a grocery store in the South, and buy plastic spoons. Because in the film, there are picture frames, kind of like in the background, whatever, like you have, typical, right? But they all have spoons in the frames. That's it. No people, just spoons. So when that comes up on the screen, people will throw the plastic spoons at the screen.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Which is, I'm sure you can get, it creates a huge mess. So they have this thing at the end of the night where if you collect the most plastic spoons, you get a prize.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Which is so genius.
Right.
But yes, we are talking about The Room. This is a 2003 film starring Tommy Wiseau. It seems to differ depending on who's saying it.
Right.
This is not the 2015 film Room starring Brie Larson. Look. Very different picture. So there you go. You ready?
I'm ready.
Mm-hmm. So yes, it is an independent film, of course, and it stars. It's written by, directed by, produced by Tommy Wiseau.
He was Tyler Perry before Tyler Perry was Tyler Perry.
They were doing the same thing at the same time. Ooh. Only if I have to give Tyler Perry something, at least this is more coherent than this. So we might have lost Lindsay to a power surge. But just going over kind of like some of the things surrounding this movie, Tommy Wiseau is very clearly European, but he won't tell anybody exactly where he's from. He'll tell people he's American, that he grew up in New Orleans, but he's clearly not like originating from New Orleans. He sounds
No.
like he comes from Eastern Europe. He won't tell anybody how old he is. And he often wears like these big dark glasses and he has this long dark hair to like obscure his features.
Mm-hmm.
Just a very strange man. And going on some of the what?
So that's putting it nicely.
Very nicely, because going on some of the summaries of the book, The Disaster Artist, he's an abusive manipulator. Like, very weird and creepy.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to be alone in a room with him.
No. Mm-mm. I would need to have that in my contract. We are not to be alone in the room together. Absolutely not.
Right. Not at all.
So his dream apparently was to create this movie. Nobody knows where he got all this money from. Some people suspect that he got a sugar mama somewhere, or that he was in an accident with some executive out in Hollywood who was giving him this money to like not go to the cops or whatever. Crazy. Nobody knows how he got the millions of dollars to make this movie, because he went over budget immediately. One of the things, for example, that he did was like he shot everything on 2 cameras because he didn't really know the difference between film and digital.
So what was the budget initially?
I don't remember what the budget was initially, but he ended up like spending like $5 million.
Okay.
Yeah. Budget was $6 million. Box office was apparently 5.1 million, and I'm pretty sure that's from release till today, because when it was first released, it got something like $1,500.
I can believe it.
Yeah.
I can definitely believe it.
Yeah. So it's supposed to be like a dark drama about this man who, he works in bank doing something, I don't know what. Johnny, he's a banker in San Francisco, and it's San Francisco because you see references to San Francisco like every 10 minutes. Like, did you know we're in San Francisco? Right? The houses, from those houses, you see the Golden Gate Bridge, you see other like really famous San Francisco spots, but it's like every 10 to 15 minutes. Which is weird, because also it's not like San Francisco is a character in the movie,
It's not a character. Like, this could have been in any town, USA.
Literally anywhere.
Yeah. So, hell, it didn't even have to be in any town, USA. It could have been in any town in the world.
It did not matter.
It did not. But I was like, does he have San Francisco in pride?
I don't know. Maybe he was just like, well, this is where we're filming the movie, so this is where I'm going to set it.
Maybe those shots were free. I don't know. Right.
Maybe he knew somebody in San Francisco. Yeah. Like, hey, take your camera out there and give me some B-roll.
Right. Or let's steal it from what is it? That TV show with Michelle.
With Michelle.
Everywhere you
go. My goodness. Oh, now I'm going through all of my Friday night. Full House.
Full House, yes. They stole it from Full House. Because they showed that street.
They showed the street with the painted ladies. That's what they call those houses.
That's what they call those houses?
The painted ladies. So, yeah, we see those like at least 3 or 4 times, I feel like.
Yeah.
So Johnny is a banker in San Francisco, and he lives in a townhouse with his future wife, Lisa.
In a month.
Not fiance, future wife.
Right.
And this is because Tommy Wiseau hates French. He refused to say the word fiance.
So what's the American word for fiance?
That is it.
Right. You kind of...
We don't have another word.
Right. You kind of have to bite the bullet on that one, sir.
No, not him. He said future wife. Okay?
Right. He said,
future,
I ain't got time.
Future wife, spouse, future husband. We're not doing fiance.
At all.
So for some reason, Lisa has become dissatisfied in their relationship. We don't know why. It's never explained. She just all of a sudden is like, I don't really like him. I think he's boring, whatever. And they've been together for some time.
7 years.
Yeah. But all of a sudden she's like, I don't like him anymore. And I'm not going to discuss it with him. I'm just going to sleep with his best friend.
But she's in love with the best friend. Like, when did that
come
about?
She said she's in love with the best friend.
Yeah. It's like, how did that develop? And then he acts like in the beginning, like he low-key don't even like her.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know who that man was. I was like, is this a brother? Like, is this an ex? Like, who
Well, see, they also make him shave like halfway through the movie.
They make him what?
Shave. So, like, in the beginning, he has a beard. And then, like, later in the movie, he doesn't.
Right. Yeah, and the continuity is terrible.
It's terrible. And apparently Tommy wanted him to shave the beard and, like was, like, telling him how to shave. And so it was very weird.
Yeah.
So she seduces Mark, who's his best friend. So, oh, hi, Mark, goes from. And they have an affair, right? So I'm just going on the main plot points right now. They have an affair. She gets more brazen with things. There's this kid named Denny that he kind of takes care of and helps out for some reason we don't know. No. He gets into some issue with drugs somehow. They named the drug dealer Chris R., which is so weird. As far as I recall, there aren't any other like Chris's in the cast.
Yeah, but
and also you could just give him another name.
Yeah, right. But it was just like, what was the point of him being a drug addict?
Right. And apparently he was wearing like these Skechers while he was shooting. Mm-hmm. And Tommy kept stepping on his shoes so bad, it messed him up. And he basically had to bully Tommy to give him money to buy new shoes.
Right, because quit stepping on my feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he didn't get in trouble with Chris R. We also have what's her name? It's mom. We have Lisa's mom, who pops in and out. And
who's the best actor in the film?
Yeah, she's the best actor in the film, but that's not really saying that much.
It's
not. And so eventually Lisa like creates this plan where she's going to smear Johnny's name for some reason. I don't know why she don't just leave and live with her mom.
The mom is bullying her to stay, remember?
Yeah, well, that's true. Military. The mom was like, you need to stay. You need to stay. No real reason is why she needed to stay other than, what she said, you don't know how to something. But Lisa was like, I work in computers. What does that mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. What does working in computers mean? But her mom was like, you can't fend for yourself or something. I was like, what?
Right. That was supposed to be her meal ticket, but if she works in computers, she don't need a meal ticket.
Right. She's fine. She works in computers in San Francisco. She'll be fine.
Right.
So she ends up like framing Johnny, talking about he hit her, all this stuff. None of that happened, of course. And eventually there's like this party. Oh, Johnny gets suspicious and starts taping all the phone calls, right? We never see him doing it until he retrieves the stuff. Because it was like, how do you do that? Especially in 2003. Like, how are we doing this?
They did have a little scene where they showed him hooking up the tape recorder. But again, it's 2003. We didn't need tape recorders back then.
How long is that tape going? Like, how much? Like, she doesn't have a cell phone she's having conversations on?
Right.
Seems weird. But whatever. So he finds that information. They have that party, for him. And she tells everybody she's pregnant for some reason. Girl just lives for the drama. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, but before then, remember, she was telling everybody that he hit her.
Right. That's what I was talking about. She was framing him.
Mm-hmm.
Saying that he hit her. She did not. I mean, he did not. Right.
Right. I did not hit, and I don't understand why he didn't leave her then. Like, that was
what were you waiting for? Like, why do you need recorded conversations? Who are you proving to? There's not a court of law for this. You're not married.
No.
Just
I
leave.
I don't understand. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of things that we will never understand
ever.
about
Ever,
this
ever,
movie.
ever, ever, ever.
So Johnny is so distressed. He gets into a fight with Mark at this party. Everybody knows that Lisa's been cheating on him with Mark, including two complete strangers who we never seen before, may never see again, and they don't get names. They're talking to her about it like they're besties. So it's like, what?
Yeah.
Okay, so
yeah, she's telling everybody about it.
Told everybody she was pregnant, and then told them, well, there's actually no baby, whatever. And eventually, Johnny's just so distressed that he kills himself, and that's the end of the movie.
And that's the end of the movie,
right?
And he's just laying there dead.
Right. And Denny comes up the stairs talking about, is he awake or is he something like that? Oh no, he says, wake him up. Wake him up. Johnny shot himself in the head.
Yeah. Through the mouth. There's no waking up.
He ain't getting up.
Blood everywhere.
As you're looking at him, you should be able to recognize him.
No. All the blood is coming from the head. He's done.
Hello? But
that
yeah,
was his best acting. That was the best scene that he acted in.
It really was. You're tearing me apart, Lisa. He's like, oh, really?
Yeah.
Now, the first time I watched this movie with my friends, I laughed literally from beginning to end. I had no idea it was going to be as funny as it was. Because it wasn't meant to be funny.
Right. But did you know going in that it was bad?
Yes, I had heard that it was bad, but I hadn't really seen it. And this was oh gosh, this was like in 2012 or 2013. A long time ago.
Yeah.
So definitely way before The Disaster Artist came out. I just heard it was like really bad, but also really like so bad that it's funny. I was like, okay, well, let's give it a chance. It's on Netflix. If I don't like it, I'll send it back.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I knew about it when The Disaster Artist came out. Because, the Disaster Artist was a big deal, because James Franco won a Golden Globe for that. So
it had the Franco brothers in it. It had actually a really nice cast.
Yeah, it did. And so that's when I found out about it, but not enough to be like, oh, I'm gonna go watch it. And I haven't even seen The Disaster Artist, so
it's good.
Yeah,
it actually is. So going back to the beginning of the movie, so we meet Lisa and Johnny and Denny, and it gets to a point where like Lisa and Johnny are like, I'm gonna go upstairs and take a nap together. And Denny's like, great, can I join you? And they're like, no. And the thing about Denny is he acts like a kid, like a child, but he's clearly like a grown man. We have no idea how old he is or what his relationship is to them at this point. Yeah. So they go upstairs and they're pillow fighting because I guess that's how they get ready to make love.
People have weird kinks.
Hey, whatever. Pillow fighting is not bad. Right?
It could be worse.
Yeah, it was just like, oh, okay. Because it's like, this is a slumber party activity, but all right. Yeah. And Denny jumps on the bed with him and starts pillow fighting. And it's like, what is wrong with this man?
Right. So he wasn't playing when he was like, can I watch?
Yes, he asked him, can I watch? What?
Yeah.
Then they make love.
Which, weird. Like,
now, supposedly, Tommy had fired the original actress for Lisa. And they had a hard time. She probably didn't want to do as many because he wanted to do like makeout scenes all the time.
You can definitely tell. You can definitely tell because I was like, we not even 30 minutes in and it's like the third sex scene. Like, what is this? Like, does he have a problem with getting women so he just does it in film? Like then I also was like, does Maria got me watching a porno?
Absolutely.
Because what the hell is this?
So, but it is like the strangest like love scene you've ever seen. And, they had a hard time finding a replacement actress until they got this lady here. And it was the amount of times he wanted to like do like the makeout scenes or whatever was a problem. And a lot of people remarked that she looks kind of like Britney Spears at the time, which I can see. So they have this whole scene, and I don't know how to explain Tommy Wiseau. Like, he is not attractive.
No.
His body is nice, but not in an attractive way. Like, oh, you work out. Yeah. Just kind of way.
Right, like, okay.
Good job at the gym. Right? That's about it.
Right. So how about those Chiefs? Like, like something like that.
Never gets that far.
Right.
And like their positioning when they're like going at it, he's like clearly aiming for her belly button. It looks so bizarre. And they have his cheeks out, just pushing.
Yeah. And she's just there.
Yeah, she's just there. And so much of this movie is ADR, like voiceover work. So much of it, which is why a lot of times they don't match up with the lips that you see.
Mm-hmm. And he just
right. You just hear that in the background, but you don't see anybody like making like
Right, they're barely touching lips, and they're just like It's like it's so weird.
It's very strange. It's the least sexiest sex scene I've ever seen.
Man.
Lots of roses. There's like a lot of candles. There's some kind of water feature in the bedroom. And they got this like 90s style R&B music that they paid somebody down at the local store to record or something.
It was some artist that was probably going to school at a production school or something like that in LA, and they was like, hey, we're making this film, can we get your music,
can we get your vocals for this track? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So but it goes on, right? It goes on for way too long, right?
Yes.
And then it's used twice.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're sitting there looking at like, am I seeing the same thing again?
Man, look, this movie has your head just spinning every which way.
Because I have never seen a film reuse any scene like that so like unabashedly.
Right. We're just gonna do it again. So it's like, I wonder if they did actually shoot more than one scene, and it was just that bad that even they was like, yeah, we're going to have to just use this one over again because we can't.
Or if the actress was like, enough. I'm not doing anymore.
I refuse.
Yes.
Yeah. So
we find out later that Denny, like Denny's, right?
Lenny.
Why did we do that, right? Just make him Danny, But anyway, he's actually a college student that Johnny's financially supporting for some reason.
Right, just randomly. Like, this kid has no relation. You didn't adopt him, like nothing. Like, why?
He pays for his condo and his college, like
right. And the condo has to be, if not equal, close to what he's paying for his own condo because it's in the same building.
Right.
So not only are you, and we're talking about San Francisco, which is one of the most expensive places to live in the country.
Mm-hmm.
So not only are you paying for his living accommodations, but you're paying for his education.
Right.
And what is the return on investment?
Just like, why? Who is this? Who is this person?
Right.
Like, it's just there to show that Johnny is supposed to be a good man. But like,
I mean,
who is this?
Like, I get you, looking out for them or something like that, but this is beyond.
Yeah.
It's
Definitely.
beyond realistic.
Yeah.
So and they don't explain it.
Not at all.
He's
supposed to be a college student. He acts like he's 8.
Right.
Like he always has like a basketball. No, football. It's football. My bad. Football.
Mm-hmm.
How could I forget? It's always football in this movie.
Don't disrespect it. It's football.
There's a lot of football in this movie, and by football I mean just throwing a football, like playing catch.
Playing catch. Right.
Yeah. Like there's a scene where Johnny's in an alleyway for some reason with like 3 of his friends, and they're tossing a football.
I don't know. Maybe he thought that that's a masculine thing to do with your buddies.
He did. He thought it was a masculine thing to do with your buddies. He also thought it was very American.
Yeah.
He associates football with America, so he put it in there like 4 times.
Right. Which that is understandable. It doesn't translate well to Americans.
I mean, you could have done anything like we're going to a football game, or we're going to a tailgate, or we're watching a football game. Not just like extended scenes of you tossing a football to your best friend while running through a park for like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with anything.
Right. And then you tackle him, but the football is over there. Like this looks like the beginning of gay porn.
It's very weird. Like you really don't know where this movie is going to go.
You don't. It's hilarious.
Yeah. So for whatever reason, Denny is having money problems.
I would too if I didn't have a job. Yeah.
But you have Johnny paying for everything.
Well, to be fair,
all you really need is pocket money.
Right. So he may have money problems with pocket money.
You can't get a part-time job.
He's a full-time student.
You can't get a part-time job?
His focus is on his studies.
I was a full-time student with a full-time job. What are we?
Well, yeah. Shit, I had 2. And a full schedule at the college. So yeah.
The only reason I had one was because I didn't have a car. So
yeah, I mean we're here.
Yeah.
That's American.
Like how are you having money troubles? All right. And apparently, so he somehow got involved with the drug dealer Chris R. We don't know about what drugs.
No, he would never tell us what drugs.
And apparently he owes Chris R money, so I don't know how he was supposed to help with the money problems. Like, was he selling for Chris R, or did he buy from Chris R? It's not clear.
That's what I'm assuming, was that he was dealing. Yeah. That maybe maybe Chris R fronted him to work, and he just never gave him back his money.
So you're a full-time college student who has another fully grown man paying all of your bills, but for some reason you're having money trouble, so you decide that you need to be a drug dealer.
When you say it like that,
Because we just couldn't get a part-time job at the grocery store.
No. It wasn't enough money.
Right.
Then I gotta wait for my first check. No, I need my money now.
For what, Denny? More footballs?
Yes, absolutely.
Leave. So, again, Lisa is very unhappy in her relationship, right, with Johnny.
That's
for some reason. Very unhappy, So she's talked to her mom like that. Her mom's all about, we need to stay with him, blah, blah, blah. And at one point, her mom goes, well, I got the test results. It's definitely cancer. And we never talk about it again.
Again, ain't nobody took a pill. Ain't nobody went for no chemo. Ain't nobody had surgery. Ain't nobody done shit. She looked fine
the entire time.
The whole time.
She doesn't lose a hair. Nothing.
She doesn't shed. She doesn't do anything.
Nobody asked, how's the cancer? Like,
nothing.
How do you feel it?
She's still drinking. She's still in people's business. She's still bullying her daughter. She's still doing everything.
All that.
You know? So, yeah.
I guess she said cancer won't slow her roll.
Okay. Or maybe she was lying about the cancer the whole time.
Who knows?
You know?
We don't. We never will.
We never will.
So one of the things Lisa starts doing is like you were talking about before. She claims that Johnny is physically abusive to her. So
not a scratch on her.
Mm-hmm. So what she tries is she gets Johnny drunk by mixing vodka and scotch.
For a person that don't drink.
All the way up to the whole glass.
Mm-hmm.
Not a shot.
Right.
And that has to taste horrible. At the very least.
It wasn't nothing to cut it.
Nothing. No ice. Nothing.
Nothing. It wasn't no Coke. It wasn't no juice.
No Sprite. Not even a straw. Like straight up. What do they call it? What's the
Scotchka.
Scotchka.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Whatever he drinks it. Right, just looking at it like, oh no.
Yeah.
Away from me, actually.
Okay. Right. Smell of it will burn your eyebrow.
Oh my gosh. But Johnny drinks it somehow. And they get so drunk that somehow his tie ends up on her head. his like his suit and tie. She ties it around her head for some reason.
Right. He gets so drunk that it ends up on her head. Yeah.
Who knows? So she uses that drunkenness to say, oh yeah, Johnny got really drunk and hit me last night. Like, again, what?
Not a scratch on her.
But like, why is this even the lie you've chosen? I don't understand.
And what do you expect everybody else to do about it?
Right. How is it supposed to benefit you? What was the point of this lie?
Right.
I don't know. It doesn't make sense.
So
Johnny, right. And this is like after Johnny's like recording the calls. Johnny becomes depressed, about everything that's going on. And
I did not hit her.
Yeah.
I did not.
There's so going back to like the whole scene where Denny and Chris are like get into a confrontation on this rooftop that is very clearly horribly green screened.
Oh God.
I was it's real bad.
Move.
Just like blowing the breeze a little bit.
Right. Oh man. I was waiting for the color bars.
For real.
Oh.
So we're on the rooftop, and it's after she's accused him of hitting her, and she's been sleeping with Mark a few times, and they sleep on the they have sex on the stairs for some reason.
Yeah.
I can maybe understand them not doing it in the same bed, but there is also a couch.
There is a couch, and it looks comfortable. I don't know why they chose them uncomfortable as stairs.
There's no way.
My back was so hurt. Like,
no, that would be incredibly uncomfortable.
Right.
And it's a spiral staircase.
On top of everything else,
It's digging into every part of you. Are you? What?
Yeah. And I'm like, y'all really maneuvered this, and with two heads, not one of them was like, hey,
maybe we should go to the couch. I feel like that'd be more comfortable.
Right. I'm like, who is doing the thinking?
Right. So Mark is also like upset about this whole situation because he claims he's in love with Lisa or whatever. Lisa's telling him, I love you. Like, okay, sure. I believe it. So right. They're on the rooftop mulling over their problems. And Johnny bursts onto the scene with this water bottle. And he's like, I can't believe it. I did not hit her. I did not. He throws the water bottle down. Oh, hi, Mark.
Just random. What? Just so random.
Yeah. And Mark is having, this trouble, how he's feeling about Lisa and everything, and Johnny being his best friend, whatever. And he's like asking him, things about women. And like what they're saying just doesn't make sense. And he says, yeah, I knew this guy. I knew this girl who had like 12 guys, whatever. And one of them got so mad about it, they beat her up and she had to go to a hospital on Guerrero Street. And Johnny laughs at that like it was funny.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, that was not a humorous tale.
No. Oh, jeez. No. It was a horrible story.
Well, why are you laughing? She was abused. What are you talking about?
Right. Like,
to the point of needing hospitalization. What?
Right. But that's funny. And then you can't help to laugh because you're laughing at him, laughing at something so horrid. Like,
right. Are you about to set Lisa up? You just think it's so funny.
Right. Oh.
Right. There's another scene that I really love. We're going out of order, but it's fine. There's another scene that I really love where he goes to this flower shop to pick up these roses for Lisa because he keeps her full. He's supposed to be like this very romantic dude, right? That's why he has like all these roses all the time, to the point where and like they take the roses off and like put them on the bed and all that stuff. And then what like in the love scene that you see twice, she rolls over and she's got like these. It looks like big moles on her back, like big moles on her back. Mm-hmm. And you're like, oh my God, it was rose petals. So he goes to this shop to buy more roses. Mm-hmm. And the voiceover ADR that's going on here is just wild.
Horrible.
He goes in there, he's dresses himself with his usual glasses or whatever. And the woman who's working the counter is like, oh, hi, Johnny, I didn't recognize you. You're my favorite customer. And he's like, right, just because he has sunglasses on?
He looks the same every time.
He's a very distinctive looking individual.
Right. He's going to stand out in a crowd.
You're not going to mix him up with anybody else.
No.
No doppelgangers.
At all.
Mm-mm. So, and then he gets the roses and he's like, here's a 20. She's like, that's $18. I was like, what? And then there's a pug there and he's like, oh, hi, doggy, and walks out.
I took it as he wanted to give the flower shop promotion.
No, he wanted to film at the flower shop because the woman who's at the counter actually owns that flower shop. And that dog is her dog. He just wanted to film there.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like I felt like he wanted to give the flower shop promotion. That's the reason why he did that.
Oh no, I don't think he cared about the flower shop getting promotion.
Well,
I think he did. I mean, yes, you were trying to be nice, but there's several things in this movie that aren't relevant to the plot at all.
Right.
But are only there to show you like how good of a person Johnny's supposed to be. Mm-hmm. So like the whole thing with the flowers is one of them. The whole thing with Denny is another one of them. Because why is this even here?
Right.
But yeah, I love that. It's so it's so bad.
Yeah. But I mean, because when I saw it, that's what immediately was in my.
Did I lose you or did you lose me? Well. Welcome back.
Okay. Hi. But yeah, that's what immediately was in my head was that he did this to give promotion. You know. Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna turn my Wi-Fi off since I'm gonna continue to have this problem.
Oh, it keeps jumping back and forth.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm sorry.
So yeah. Mm-hmm. Another thing that was weird that didn't have nothing to do with the plot of the story, but I thought was extremely weird that I actually was on Tommy's side. Mm-hmm. When the mom asked him to help out with somebody for like to save something or like something with money. She called and asked him to help her friend with money.
Oh, probably.
Yeah, because she was telling her daughter about it. She was telling Lisa about it. Mm-hmm. And she was mad that Tommy wouldn't do it. And I'm like, Tommy ain't supposed to be like paying for everybody. What are you talking about?
Right.
So, that one I was on Tommy's side with.
Yeah, and that's just to show that like.
But that was another thing that had nothing to do with anything.
Right.
with the story.
I think just to show that Lisa and
And
her
it
mom.
actually goes against the way that he was portrayed as such a giving person. He has his limits.
I think I'm on a lag with you.
You said goes to show what?
I think I'm lagging with you. You got me lagged. Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, I can hear you, but you're responding to things I said like a few seconds ago.
Oh,
so it's lagging.
Maybe I should turn the Wi-Fi back on. Hold on. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let me exit and I'll come right back.
Okay, cool. Let's see. So Philip Haldeman is the one who plays Denny, who's the young college student. We have Carolyn Minot as Claudette, Lisa's mother. She does have the best acting in the movie. It's not a hard draw, though. When they had that scene, which we'll discuss, with Chris R. and Denny on the rooftop, Lisa and her mother are there. And that's when Lisa's mom, Claudette, does like the best acting. Even though it's very over the top, she's still delivering the lines in a way that's like makes sense to what's happening in the scene, and she's asking all the right questions. So,
okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Now it's not on my headphones. Hold on.
Okay. Oh gosh, another couple we haven't talked about is I think it was it Greg? How about now?
Okay. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Okay. All right. So you were saying another couple?
Yes. So one of the things we see that happens in this movie is this couple just enters Tommy's apartment and starts making out.
Yes. Yes, that was weird as hell.
Very weird. Why do you go to somebody else's house to make out?
Right. Because I was thinking like, okay, maybe they sneaky links or something like that, but that wasn't the case. I'm
And
like, doing the most in this damn apartment.
Truly. The guy though, he makes the funniest faces.
He
Very
makes
funny.
faces like he ain't never had ever in his life.
Right. And this is before anything was even happening.
Right.
He's making these faces. But he ends up leaving his underwear there somehow. Because like they get discovered by Lisa and Lisa's mom, Claudette. And they leave, and because Lisa's mom was like, "Who are these people?" Which is a great question. And Lisa's like, "Oh, they're some friends of ours, or whatever. They're just like crazy cats breaking into our apartment to have sexual activities." What?
Right. And I was with the mom, like, who all got access to this apartment?
Right. It's like everybody just walks in, no key. What?
No.
How is this happening?
Right.
So, but he actually comes. So Lisa and her mom are talking, and then like the guy comes back in because he left his underwear somehow, even though he has his pants on.
Yep. I don't get that. And then the pants were already on by the time Lisa and her mom walked in.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
You intentionally, it wasn't no rush job. You intentionally put your pants on without your drawers.
Somehow.
Yeah.
But all right.
But
very
right. But hey, just add that to the list of weird shit in this movie.
Seriously, and that's pretty long. So as we were saying, Claudette, you were saying like her actress is the best one here, and I would definitely agree with that, especially when it comes to the scene on the rooftop again with Denny and Chris R. Because Elisa and her mom end up showing up, and so do Greg and Tommy.
Yeah,
and because Denny's up there, Chris R is like, "Where's my money?" He's like, "I'll have it in 5 minutes." And I guess Chris R does not believe him. And so he shows up and he's wearing like wearing a black tank top and like a black Scully, because that's how drug dealers dress, I guess. And so like Lisa's mom and Lisa are there, and they're like both screaming at Denny. Like, who is this? What are you doing? What are you doing drugs for? What kind of drugs? You know?
Right. Because we need every single detail.
We do, though. Like, she's asking the right questions.
You know?
But it's very hysterical.
Yeah. And he's like legit really not giving up the info. He holding that. Yeah. He's holding that close to the vest. I was like, if you don't tell them what they want to know so we can move on.
Right.
Because on top of everything else, the scene was way too long.
It was way too long. It's
so
funny.
And then they just take him out and then come back.
Well, yeah, they take him down to the police station.
But where's the police station? At the bottom level of the damn apartment building?
No, don't ask questions.
Oh, my bad.
When you watch getting answers.
Right. When you watch this movie, you had to just put logic on the table and walk away.
Walk away.
So yeah,
you'll be angry.
Right. I just don't like. So nobody like read the script and tapped them on the shoulder and was like, "Hey, so."
Of course they did. He fired them.
Oh, that's what happened. Okay, he fired the people that questioned him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right, I get you that.
This is his dream.
Mm-hmm. Hey, all right.
So later on, we see like Tommy's friend Peter, who is a psychologist, and Peter actually figures out that Lisa's having an affair with Mark, and he like tries to talk to Mark about it, maybe, and then Mark threatens to throw him over the building and like holds him like over the ledge of the roof.
Right.
About it, which like, oh yeah. I'm definitely not suspicious anymore.
What? No, not at all. And it also makes you wonder about the whole green screen thing. Like, did they just really want to use a green screen? Because I feel like you could have went to any.
Well, it has to be the rooftop.
But I feel like you could have went to any apartment building and just shot up there. Like,
I feel like you also know the difference between film and digital, Lindsay.
True.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just thinking like, okay, maybe they had access to a green screen and they was like, oh, we're going to use it. You know, we're going to figure out a way to use it.
You don't have to give them a benefit of a doubt.
I'm trying.
You don't have to.
Okay.
It's not. It was all theirs. He released it because he was proud of it, okay?
Right. Yeah, this was his pride and joy.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And after it was released, like apparently, like during the initial screening, people were laughing really, really a lot. And like I think maybe he was like cursing out some people or whatever because of it. And so later he said it was a dark comedy.
Yeah, I did see that. That he changed his mind. Or he changed what he was saying to people, I should say, about it being a serious movie, but it was initially supposed to be serious.
Yeah. It was never intended to be a comedy.
Yeah.
So they're like supposed to be like, I guess his best man or whatever, and they're trying on Texas for the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
And like they decide to go play football in Texas. We'll toss football around while wearing Texas. Because that's what you do.
Yeah, that's what you do when you try out Texas. That's the first thing you do.
I guess that was his bachelor party.
Hey, because that's what Americans do.
I guess.
We toss around footballs.
All the time.
All the time. It's a great bonding experience.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
later on, they decide they're gonna like throw a surprise party for Johnny. I don't know why Lisa's doing this. You don't like this man.
Yeah, I didn't get that either. Like, you're going around telling people that you're having an affair. You're going around telling people he hits you. You're going around telling people you don't like him. You want to leave him. Oh, and by the way, are you coming to his surprise party that I'm throwing for him? Like,
What?
What? Okay, do I got you for chips? Okay. Like, what? Huh?
It's so wild.
Right.
And like at this party, like she's actually kissing Mark.
Yeah.
These are all of Johnny's friends.
Okay, so let's take it back a step to when she's getting ready for the party.
Okay.
And how people were coming over with their stuff. Mm-hmm. And her friend came over with that bag. And how she was like literally taking one thing out and then saying a sentence, putting it down, take another thing out, say a sentence, then put it down, take another thing else.
She had a line for every item. It was wild. Also, they're not in the kitchen.
Right. But to her,
who unloads groceries in the living room?
But to her credit, I will say this. What she was taking out was the items for the party, and they did put the bowls on the table, and she was taking out bags of chips that were going in the bowls. And she
I could have sworn there was a loaf of bread in there.
I think there was a loaf of bread, but when the first thing she was taking out was the bags of chips, and she was putting them in the bowl. Because I was like, what are we doing here? So, yeah.
Yeah, a line for every item, for sure.
Yeah.
100%.
Yes. Like, I don't like him, all right? I love Mark, okay? He still hit me and y'all don't give a damn.
Are you coming to the party or not?
Right. Are you coming back?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Like to the point where like some of these guests who, again, we don't know, we have never seen, we don't get names for, are confronting Lisa about cheating on Johnny.
Right. Right.
And this is also the same party where she declares to everyone that she's pregnant with his baby.
Yeah. And then how she sent everybody outside.
Right. Let's go for fresh air. Right. Like nobody would notice you weren't outside.
You are Mark. You are Mark. Like, wait. I'm so confused. Right.
I don't even know why Johnny's letting all this happen because he has like all the evidence he could possibly need.
Right, and you're already suspicious to the point where you hooked up this recorder. So why don't you just leave her ass?
Leave her.
Yeah, but you want to keep her and fight everybody else. Like, no.
Yeah. So that's when they get into a fight and everything, and we get into the end of the movie. But like my absolute favorite part is definitely when they're at like this coffee shop. It's Johnny and Mark at this coffee shop. And first things first is we have to hear the orders of these random ass people for no reason. And then okay, fine. And they said was it? I don't even anyway.
Right. They were reciting the menu. So when you
go that was it? Okay, you know what to order.
You know what to order. Oh, that sounds good. I'm gonna go there. Yeah.
And they're talking, and Mark is asking him for details about something at work, like they got a new client or whatever. And it's Johnny who brings up the new client. And so Mark is just like following up in conversation. But Johnny is like, no, I can't tell you about that. It's just a new client. Anyway, how's your sex life? What?
Right.
That's the question.
Right. Oh, geez. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. But Johnny locks himself in the bathroom after the fight. Of course, Lisa calls Mark and everything. Johnny retrieves the cassette tape and everything, and he's listening to the calls, and he's got this emotional breakdown going, and he's angry, you know, and that's when he shoots himself in the mouth.
In the mouth.
Right. And so I guess Lisa and Mark, I guess people are still there. Because Lisa and Mark and Denny all went upstairs.
Well, remember they all stay in the same building, so if the gun went off,
well, I don't know.
if the gun went off, then they went back.
Yeah.
I think Mark stays in the same building too.
Who knows? Possibly. Yeah. Everybody lives in this building.
Right. It should have been the building instead of the room.
Yeah. This should have been a lot of things instead of the room.
Yeah. Or the apartment at least.
Literally so many other things. But Lisa tells Mark that they're finally free to be together over Johnny's dead body.
Literally. Oh, like that's what you're thinking of at a time like this.
And then Mark like blames her for everything.
Yeah,
and
like
leaves her there. Right. She didn't betray him by herself.
She couldn't have. She needed assistance.
Right.
So.
And then, of course, we see Denny talking about waking up. Aren't you in college? Are you not in university?
Right. Right. But, you know, it was grief. Maybe he was in delusion. Maybe he was in denial.
See, here you go trying to give them things again.
I am. Again, I forgot to put, I forgot to put my logic on the table. I did.
Oh, there's also a great line in here that Mark says, keep your stupid comments in your pocket. Love it. Great.
I did like that. I did like that line. I was like, I might have to use that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to use it on Lily.
I know, right?
And see, this movie is like The Ring, only better because nobody dies, but you just keep making people watch it.
Right.
It's like, I'm so interested to see what Lily would think of this film.
Oh, God. That would be hilarious. We might have to do a part 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or do a watch party.
Oh, that'd be so
have
great.
To do an online watch party for that.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I would love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the end of the movie.
Yes. This light core porn you have me watching.
Not even. I mean, what did they used to call it? Oh, soft core, like Skinamax, right?
Yeah, Skinamax. Yeah. Oh gosh.
Because we see his booty several times.
We do, and it was manicured, and we'll say that it was kept. It was, the upkeep was good. I will give them that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we have our rating system. 1, movie real trash AF. 2, it exists. 3, entertaining. 4, great. 5, a true classic. Mm-hmm. Maria, what say you?
I have to give it 5.
I knew you was gonna say 5.
I have to. It's a true classic. Wow. I mean, like literally, it's so bad. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
But also, you write a book about it, and that book is made so you got a movie of the making of the movie that's so bad that's hilarious. Like that's crazy.
Yeah. People are really eating off of that.
Yeah. I mean, to the point where theaters have these midnight screenings and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, true classic for sure.
Okay.
How about you, Lindsay? What do you give it?
I honestly was thinking 5 as well for all the wrong reasons.
I got 2 5s.
Yeah.
Yes, time, it's for all the wrong reasons, absolutely.
Yeah. First time ever out of 55 episodes, we have done 2 5s.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's The Room. It's simultaneously a 1 out of 5.
Yeah. Like it's good and it's bad, and it's so good it's bad, and it's so bad it's good.
Yeah.
And it all everything I just said makes sense.
It does make sense.
Yeah.
There's also like an 8-bit or 16-bit video game online based on The Room. And you basically like move through some of the like famous scenes in the movie and stuff like that.
Oh wow.
I played it a couple of times. I tried to find it for you, but I couldn't find it.
Yeah. That would really be hilarious.
Yeah, because it's been years, but it's out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can see like playthroughs on YouTube and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I might have to look that up because that would be hilarious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but he made this film for $6 million.
Mm-hmm.
Which, where did you get that from? Nobody's really sure. Everybody has different stories.
What are some of the theories?
Well, he had said that he was like importing leather jackets from Korea.
Okay.
Just like, all right. He's also said that he's got real estate developments, which other people don't believe. Other people think it's part of a money laundering scheme for organized crime. Like somebody had to wash some funds, so they gave him the money to do this movie. I don't even know. But those are the, like, everything about Wiseau is just a big mystery.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I noticed that because I did a little Google search on him too, and I was seeing that they were saying that on his Wikipedia page. Yeah,
we don't know where he's from.
Yeah, and they try to like pinpoint an area of where he was from.
I think he might be from this town. Like, I don't even know. Like, what does New Orleans have to do with anything?
Cause I think that's where he went when he came to America.
Yeah, but he says, I grew up. It's like, no, you didn't.
Well, he came when he was young.
Yeah, he visited. Like, but you did not grow up in New Orleans.
Yeah, because what the Wikipedia says is that he also does still have family in Chalmette. I guess that's how you say it, Louisiana.
Or
and I guess that's
Who knows?
And I guess that's close, right? And I think that's close to New Orleans.
I have no idea.
I don't know. I mean, I was just there a couple weeks ago, and I wasn't nowhere near New Orleans. So
right now, yeah, you're way on the other side.
Right.
But I saw one of the videos I put in the playlist. They were saying they had found like some evidence that he might be from this town in Poland.
Yeah. But I don't understand. I don't understand why he just won't say where he's from.
He won't.
Yeah.
It's very shady. He won't say where he's from. Won't say how he made his money. Won't say how old he is.
Yeah. And that was another thing they said on his Wikipedia page, that they had to like kind of pinpoint. Because I guess he said he was born in like 68, 69, but that wasn't the case. He actually was probably born in 55.
Yeah.
So.
But if you watch any of like the interviews with him, he's always wearing those big old glasses. Always dyeing his hair jet black. Box dye, absolutely.
Yeah, right.
There's no way this man's hair professionally dyed. It is ink.
100%. 100%. Yeah. But he might love the mystique of him that he has built up around himself. And how it's a thing, because that's a thing in itself, apparently. So
I've never heard anybody who sounds like him before.
No, he sounds like an extremely bad actor. But when I did,
well, yes,
that. But when I did watch the video of him explaining that one scene in The Disaster Artist. He didn't sound as bad, because that's what I was expecting for him to sound like he does in the room.
Well, honestly, most of what he says does not make sense. Like in a lot of the interviews, you're like, "What are you talking about? What are you?"
Yeah,
he goes off on tangents constantly.
Yeah, he probably gets lost in his words.
Yeah, apparently the script supervisor found much of the dialogue incomprehensible.
Yeah, you can tell that he really got lost.
Yeah, it was like but this was like stuff that was cut.
Yeah.
So they were like, it was just unsayable.
Right. Like incomplete sentences, run-on sentences, shit that didn't make sense at all. Like
No.
I can see it now. Just on the strength of how this movie.
Oh, we lost you again. Well, another thing they found, they like a lot of people catch on is like how Johnny, like you're saying, talks in the films. He says "oh hi" character's name a lot. He says "don't worry about it" a lot when he's clearly bothered, and he's always like talking about how sexy Lisa looks, or how hot she looks, whatever.
Yeah.
And then like he'll ask Lisa some questions, and she'll just say, "I don't want to talk about it," and that's the end of the discussion.
And it's like, I get that people do that in real life, but you can't do that in a film. You kind of need to talk about it in a film.
Right. And it wasn't like something small or trivial. It was like, no, y'all should be talking about this, actually.
Y'all should have a whole dialogue about this, It's crazy. It's crazy.
So many of the rooftop sequences were shot on a soundstage with the exteriors of San Francisco green screen and.
Yeah. Oh, hi, Mark.
Just wow. Wow.
Oh, goodness.
Yep. He had several problems with his behind the camera team and claims to have replaced the entire crew 4 times.
I can believe that. Because there's only so much you can do before I'm like, this does not make sense. Like, why are we allowing this? Why am I partaking in this? You know what I'm saying?
I have no idea. Oh my gosh.
And the fact that he's very hard-headed and didn't want to listen, I can definitely see him replacing the crew that many times.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. So I'm looking here when they're talking about the music. And so they're saying the soundtrack features 4 R&B slow jams, right? Which play during 4 of the film's 5 love scenes. Why 5? But yes, the one that always sticks in my head is "You're My Rose," which is what plays during their love scenes. You are my rose, you are my rose, you are my rose. Oh, this is great. It's so great.
Right. I was like, oh, need to see the soundtrack for this. Why weren't they stars?
Listen. Yeah, they're all by Jara Gibson and they're by different people, but "You're My Rose" is by Kitra Williams and Reflection. So there's actually a soundtrack if you're interested. You can get it. It includes the songs as well as the score, and it ends up with like 29 tracks, and it's almost an hour long.
Let's see. Is this on Apple Music?
Is it on Apple Music?
That's what I'm looking for. No.
No. Okay. All right.
Nope. Apple Music, y'all dropping the ball.
Listen, it's a classic out here. How am I supposed to stream "You're My Rose"?
Okay. The feel good song of the summer. Yeah, no, it's not on here.
The song of the summer.
20 years ago, right? So yeah, this was definitely an adventure.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. If you haven't seen it, I would absolutely suggest that you do. And definitely look up like YouTube reactions and reviews for it. Not only will you get some more information, it's just a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is. So we got a request.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. So our next film will be Biosphere. And that was requested by Lily from the Ish We Talk podcast. And
so he must be coming on then in that case.
Yeah, he'll be coming on. So that is on Hulu.
I tell you what, we watch Biosphere, he watches The Room.
Yes. I'm definitely.
And then we can talk about.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna snatch him. So, Sterling K. Brown is in Biosphere.
Okay, I love Sterling.
Right. And Mark Duplass.
All right, that sounds good.
Okay.
I'll be happy to watch that. I'm sure it'll be better than this.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
hard.
I'm sure it will be better than this. But doesn't look like it did that well.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what I really want is for you and Lily to watch The Room together, and for you to like capture his reactions for TikTok or Facebook or something.
I think we do need to do a virtual movie party.
Yeah, that would be cool.
A watch party. Yeah. So definitely gonna get him in on that. But yeah, I'm gonna figure out the details on that so we can definitely do that because we have to watch this in real time.
we might have to do like our first reaction video.
Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. So yeah, let me figure that out and then we'll do that. So but the next movie is our Biosphere movie.
Yes.
So yeah. So Maria, where can we find you?
Oh, you can find me online pretty much anywhere. And if I am there, you'll find me at Valar More Dollars, VALARMOR dollars. All men must pay. And I'm also on a podcast called Nerdgasm Noir with 5 other Black women where we talk like, I'm combining words now, geeky, nerdy, pop culture stuff. I was going to say Gertie. So you can totally join us over there. We actually, I don't know if I told you this or not, but we were explaining Drake's beef to like a senior citizen pastor. I did. I told you about this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was the last episode we recorded.
Yeah. That beef is still living on.
I mean, so they say, but I have not even heard the remix of BBL Drizzy anywhere.
You have? I just came across a live band version of BBL Drizzy.
Oh man, I've heard. Was it a cumbia version? I've heard a parody of a Kids Bop. No, not a Kids. It was parody of a Kids Bop version.
I heard that
too. Yeah, there's a lot out there. So where can they find you, Lindsay?
You can find me everywhere at L_Renelle. That's L_RANELLE. And on my other podcast, The Issue Talk, where me and my cousin Lily talk about a variety of topics. So, yeah. Oh, one thing we did talk about this past week was the beef, not necessarily the beef, but the BBL Drizzy, because Drake just put out a song. Well, Sexy Red put out a song featuring Drake, and Drake rapped over the BBL Drizzy.
Right. Yeah, I haven't heard it.
I actually like it.
And the thing is, for me, is like it's very clear to me that most people don't seem to care about it because like it hasn't been on the timeline like at all. I heard about it, but like nobody posted anything about it. Nobody posted any links to it or anything like that. I was like, oh, I guess people aren't really feeling it like that.
Yeah, like they were the night it dropped because she dropped the album.
Oh,
so
she
that
did.
was like
okay.
So that was like
so if you were in the Sexy Red circles,
yeah, but no, it was trending. It was trending that night because it dropped Thursday night. So
right, I heard about it.
Yeah,
but that was it. Like I haven't seen any TikToks come through. I haven't seen any Instagram Reels come through using it or anything like that. I was just like,
yeah. I've seen a couple people review and they're just basically like, that
I haven't even seen any reactions to it.
Yeah, it wasn't. They weren't necessarily reactions. They was just like, basically them saying a sentence or two about it. Excuse me. And they were just like, we're laughing at you, not with you. And you're trying to switch it around to make it seem like you're laughing with us as well, and it's not working.
No.
But he slid. I'm not gonna hold you. He did slide. Yeah. So,
no, he's competent. He's skilled. He just can't do this.
Yeah. And when we talked about the beef on our podcast, I said that what he needed to do was rap over the BBL
Trying to take the
beef.
power back.
Yeah, and just burn the house down. That was my critique, if you will. And I was just like, he didn't do exactly what I said, but I mean, he slid. But it's not like not like us. Not like
it's really hard to like burn the house down when we have like prior evidence of you being real weird.
Yeah.
So
true. Like he would have had to go as hard as Kendrick went.
Yeah.
And I would have threw everything. I would have threw everything at Kendrick if I was him.
He would have to, but I just don't think it exists.
I would have made up some shit. I ain't at that point.
I'm pretty sure he already did make us.
Yeah. Right.
But
I think both of them did, to be honest.
Well, as far as Drake like talking and like messing with minors or whatever, that was not made up. Like we've seen videos.
We've seen suggestive behavior.
Right.
As far as putting that label on him, we haven't 100% been able to.
No, and see, we haven't 100% been able to do that because we don't have everything. Who would? I'm sure Kendrick doesn't. Because people were like, well, why don't you call the cops? I was like, he probably doesn't have evidence.
That's what I'm saying. Like, when you get to the point where you're going that low, you need to come with receipts. On both sides, because they both went low.
Yeah, they both went low. And the only thing is, like, I don't really pay that much attention to, like, what celebrities are doing in their lives. So I miss a lot of things. But I didn't miss Drake, like, bringing that 17-year-old girl on stage. I didn't miss Drake like texting Millie Bobby Brown because she talked about it.
She talked about it, right? It was weird. Yeah. It was a lot of weird stuff.
Yeah.
And that bringing that 17-year-old on stage when you find out that she's 17, at that point, send that girl on her way.
You might kiss her on the head and be like, "Goodbye, child."
Right.
You
But you went way too far. After
why are you so thick?
Out. Right. Like, you doing way too much after you found out her age. That was weird. But Drake's been a weirdo.
Oh, really? Been a weirdo. I've never liked Drake, like ever.
I used to really like Drake. Like Drake put out some good albums, but these last couple, like I haven't never. I haven't really been into him like that since Certified Lover Boy. So,
yeah, the only song by him that I liked was "Nice for What."
Okay.
But otherwise, he just never really spoke to me. I didn't, it was I never really was able to connect with him as an artist. And then he put out, what was it? You used to comment on your cell phone.
Highlight Bling.
Right. And I was like, oh, I see why I don't like you. Because it's
yeah.
I was like, I see where this is going, right? And like also the way he would interact with other grown women was very weird. Like the whole thing with Rihanna and Serena, and the whole thing where he got he supposedly had a closet full of Birkins for the woman who he was gonna marry or whatever. Like, what if she hates Birkins? Why would you do that? And then he also had like this necklace put together made of like 42 diamonds or whatever for all the times he got close to proposing. It's very strange.
He does have strange behavior. Like, I thought it was strange, his weird obsession with Aaliyah.
Yes, that too. All the face tattoos he has. That just freaks me out personally.
Hideous. Like, I don't understand how somebody can be a multimillionaire and it looks like he is getting tattooed by somebody who just started last week.
Right.
Yeah. Like, it doesn't make any sense. But yeah. Yeah. But yeah, that
so when Kendrick goes for him on these things, there's way more that's much easier to believe and much easier to reason with because we have all this stuff that we've seen.
Right.
But when he's talking about Kendrick, it's like, well, personally, I never heard of it, but that doesn't mean much. I haven't heard of a lot of things celebrity have or haven't done. So
right, like I don't follow too much news on Kendrick. So, but Kendrick ain't really in the news like that either.
right,
So if
that's what it
he's
seems.
doing right, so if he's doing things, it's definitely kept under wraps. They are
Yeah,
doing a really good job with keeping it under wraps.
yeah.
But the allegations that Drake was throwing, that's not something that the public would know unless it happened in public, especially if his fiance is not saying anything about it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So, but again, that was a low blow. So it's like you need to come with receipts on that one. And then the
And the
cheating
whole,
allegations and all
yeah,
that, like you need to come, especially with who he's alleging he's cheating with.
okay.
You really need to come with some
Because I
receipts
had
on
heard
that.
like Kendrick had talked about him being unfaithful previously.
He did, but I don't think he talked about it being with white women.
Oh, I don't know.
I
He
could be
probably didn't.
wrong. I could be wrong, but yeah, he talked about it on his last album. And
Yeah.
then he tried to throw up in his face that which this was a bad move when he said you rap like you're trying to free the slaves. That was a bad move. Like you can't, especially a half Jewish rapper from Canada cannot say a lyric like that.
It
I
also
get
doesn't
where he
make
was
sense.
going. I get where he was
I get,
going
yeah, I
because
get what he was trying to say, but like it also doesn't make sense on his face.
right. And you're not the person to say that. So,
No.
and then what else did he say?
Well, see, the thing for me that really brought it to my attention, it was like, oh, he lost already, was when
Mhm.
he did Tupac and the AI voice in Tupac.
I honestly wasn't mad. I thought that was pretty clever, to be honest,
Oh
because
no,
you're
I was.
taunting him. You're
Mm-mm.
taunting him to get in the ring with you,
But see,
because he
you
wasn't
gotta
in
you
the
gotta
ring.
look at the bigger picture though. It's not just Kendrick who would be upset about that,
Yeah, 100%.
and
And
it
yeah,
looks
people
very
were upset.
disrespectful. Especially if
It
you're
does.
gonna say you rapping like you're trying to free the slaves. This man is dead. Why are you trying to get labor from him?
Hmm. Yeah,
But
yeah.
anyway,
I mean, I get why people were upset,
yeah.
but it was to me it was pretty clever to
Hmm.
do. You know what I'm
I
saying?
felt like it was
Um,
dangerous. I really felt like it was dangerous for him to do, really. Because the way people
yeah,
feel about Pac, I was like, ooh, this feels
yeah.
disrespectful. Maybe we should
Hmm.
not have done it.
Right. And then there was something else. There was something else that Drake did.
And I'm not even really a
I
fan of
can't
Kendrick, to be
remember.
honest.
My thing with Kendrick, which I have said for years now, and every time I say it, people are like, "That's it." My thing with him is that I get lost in his delivery, and
Hmm.
because I get lost in his delivery, I stop paying attention to what he's saying.
Hmm.
So that's my issue with him. Michael W is watching. He
Hey,
said
Mike.
Drake didn't and doesn't have the cultural capital to win a battle with Drake.
Did we mean to say Drake twice?
I'm thinking he's meant to say Kendrick last.
Okay.
Yeah. But if that's the case, then I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, they have like very different audiences.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I remember now. The other thing that he
Yeah.
said, he tried to throw it in his face that he was touched.
Right. And it wasn't him, it was
It
his
wasn't him.
mom.
It was his mom. And
Hmm.
he talked about how they thought he was. How
Right.
they thought he was, and he told them he wasn't, and they didn't believe him. And I was just like, you are going way too far. You are offending way too many more
Yeah.
people than who you're trying to offend with that.
Right.
You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
So
And he
that's
did
about
he
okay.
did mean to
Gotcha.
say
Gotcha.
to
Okay.
Kendrick.
All right. I
Yeah.
just want to make sure I understood because I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Okay. Was there something else that had happened? Like,
Right.
yeah. And
His
then
battle.
you're like, oh, you're so concerned with that because this happened to you. Okay. Well, first of all, it
All the more
didn't. But even
reason.
if it did, oh, and
Right. Right.
you're giving me something to be concerned about.
Right. All the more reason why somebody would be concerned, why they would have their eyes on that, because it would have happened to them. But it did, at the end of the day, it didn't happen to them. So it's like,
Right.
What are
And
you
the whole
saying?
idea that we planted that information for you, blah blah blah. Just like,
You know, I honestly thought that before.
I know I saw your post on that. I was like, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
why would
I
you
thought that
tell these kinds of lies about yourself?
because it was just showing the fact that you just running with some information. You're not trying to fact check or nothing like that.
Yeah, but not like this.
But but then it kind of it plays for him and against him at the same time because we are easily to believe that you would have another kid that you're hiding because you already hid
Because
a
you
kid.
already lied. Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that
So
was true.
why would we do the same lie?
Mm, I don't know. I
Right?
don't
And
know.
then why would we also say you planted information about you like being with minors? Why would you plant that information? That's really weird.
I don't think he planted that one. I don't think he planted
Well,
that one.
right, but he's like saying, "Oh yeah, we planted this information." He's not specific about the information he's saying they planted.
True.
So it
But
must be
I wouldn't
everything,
have.
I guess. I don't know.
I mean, one would assume, yes, but I would hope if you're planting information about yourself, you would not plant something like that.
That's
That
yeah.
is weird.
There's so much other information you could plant about yourself. Like,
Right.
why
Like
would
having
you
another
choose
kid.
that?
Yeah.
Having another kid or anything like anything in hip hop or inflated sales or maybe you bought followers, like anything. Like
Yeah. Now I will say
not
this. I do believe that he did have a nose job. Cause I just watched remember that video he did or that song he did with Beyonce Mine?
oh yeah, uh-huh. Yes.
I just saw that video for the first time in a really long time. And
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "Ooh,
I didn't
yeah,
even know
he
there
still
was a
got."
video for that.
Well, you know, that was on the Beyonce album, and every song on that album has a video.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. So, yeah, I was like, yeah, he still got that Jewish nose in that video. He don't have that Jewish nose no more.
Hmm.
So, yeah. Michael says if Drake would have had talked about Kendrick dabbling with respectability politics, he would have made inroads. But
Yeah.
again, the cultural capital and competency lacking from Drake dropped the ball.
Yeah,
Point.
Drake doesn't, he can't have that conversation.
Mm-mm. He's not the one. He's not the
No.
one. Um, I mean, I feel like if J. Cole would have stayed in the fight, I feel like J. Cole would have won.
Listen, I'm let J. Cole enjoy his peace.
Right. You know what I'm
Like,
saying?
never mind.
Right. You know
I can
what?
respect that.
I don't want this type of drama. I want to live the life I've been living.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to delete this now. I said I might, and I'm going to now.
Mm-hmm.
In 3, 2, 1. Right. So I ain't mad at him
I
for
don't
getting
blame
out.
him. Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't mad at him for getting out, but I feel like if he would have stayed in, he would have won. Because I said this on our podcast as well. I was just like, you know, I feel like J. Cole got a mouth like mine, and my mouth is terrible. And I feel like he would have like done an AR-15 and killed everybody in sight.
Mm.
So
Well, so
yeah,
you also Kendrick worked with Kodak Black after Kodak already got that charge for sexually assaulting a minor as well.
yeah, and that is one of the best songs on that.
Oh yeah, no, I can't listen to any of that. But it's
Yeah,
just another thing. Like you don't really care that much about what's happening to these girls. You gonna do a track with this dude?
I feel like everybody is hypocrites at this point. They pick and
Yeah,
choose.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like what kills me because there's this one guy on YouTube. I love him down. Watch damn near everything he posts because he does a lot of pop culture commentary.
Mm-hmm.
He did this one live where he pulled up this article where he went down all the incidences that Chris Brown has had.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, and some of them in the article were talking about stuff that were debunked. You know what I'm saying? Like, remember that one girl that tried to say that that he beat her, but she was lying and all that kind of stuff. Like, he just went down the article. He didn't give context. He didn't give anything like that. And I had to comment, and I was just like, what is the point of all this? Because at the end of the day, you said out of your mouth on this video, you still listen to Chris Brown. So what is the point of doing this?
Right.
You're still a fan at the end of the day. Like, are you trying to end his career? Because you only do this with Chris Brown. You don't do this with anybody else. Unless I missed the video where you talked about James Brown. But I don't think I have. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like people pick and choose who they want to, throw that on and be help and like want to lead the mob with.
Right.
But y'all still fans at the end of the day.
It's a lack of consistency and morality.
Yeah. And honestly, if we were going to be the morale police, we wouldn't be listening to music, period. We wouldn't be watching TV at all. Because you're going to find something in everything.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? So
everything is problematic. So
right.
It just depends on how much you can personally deal with.
Right. And if you want to separate, because you have that right.
You can't separate. I don't think you can separate.
I can separate.
I don't think it's possible in terms of like artists and art, because artists are always in their art. But that's the way I'm looking at it. But yeah. It's just again like what you can deal with, what you can handle, like because like I was such a big fan of like CeeLo, right? And Gnarls Barkley. Oh man, the Christmas album he came out with. I loved it. Deleted all of his music.
Did you?
Because I literally could not stand the sound of his voice. I would just get so upset.
Wow. And see, me, I'm never gonna not play Goody Mob.
Yeah. I literally would have like a physical reaction. I was like, damn. This is so good. Like I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. Right. But like again, it depends on who you can stand.
Yeah. It definitely does depend on who you can stand. Like if their stuff is just so egregious that you can't, then that's your own personal opinion. But I don't feel like you should. I don't feel like you should vilify a person that can separate either. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because some people still listen to R. Kelly.
No, I can't. That one is close and personal for me. Like I know some people that he tried to get with.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So no, I can't do that.
Yeah. Well, and that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? And I feel for the people that are victims, because I don't know how I would be able to live my life in a society keeping a secret like that. Or if I'm not keeping the secret, people not listening to me. You know what I'm saying? Like that would be weird for me. So I do feel for the victims when it comes to that.
Yeah. Especially because you know that he's singing about them.
Yeah. Absolutely. Like the R. Kelly thing is really weird, because there are people that do still continue to this day to listen to him. Yeah. Me, I never was a big person to listen to R. Kelly in the first place. Yeah. I never was that person to be like, oh, put on the R. Kelly. Like I may have bought like 1 or 2 albums. My mama had a couple growing up, of course, because every Black mom had a couple of R. Kelly albums. But me personally, I think I probably bought like 1 album. But it never was like, oh my God, I have to go listen to R. Kelly right now.
Yeah, never. Yeah.
So it wasn't that big of a deal, but it is kind of weird not to hear "I Believe I Can Fly."
Actually, not for me. No, I'm gonna tell you why. Okay. So in high school, we had the block schedule where every class is 90 minutes. And so I took a typing class where the teacher would play "I Believe I Can Fly" for every single one of those 90 minutes.
Oh, she was obsessed. So yeah, if I were you, I'd be over it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, bitch, we can't fly. Yeah. Now
I started to sing "I Believe I Can Type" because I was like, I cannot listen to this again.
Right. Yeah. I don't know, because it's like "I Believe I Can Fly" is like synonymous with Space Jam. And Space Jam, everybody loves Space Jam.
Yeah, the Space Jam soundtrack. I had the Space Jam soundtrack.
That was a good soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good soundtrack. But yeah, like if somebody says I'm still gonna listen to R. Kelly, I'm not gonna be like, no, you should not. I mean,
I'm gonna be like, really?
Yeah, I mean, hey,
We won't be listening to him together, but okay.
Right. Now, if I'm somewhere and R. Kelly gets played, I'm definitely going to be like Whitney Houston on that gif where she's looking all around. I'm definitely going to like, hold on. Is it just me? Hey, if ain't nobody else tripping, I'm not about to cause a scene, whatever. So, but
Yeah.
who else? I forgot who else.
Like, I was never a Chris Brown fan, really.
Oh, now I love Chris Brown.
Yeah.
I love Chris Brown. I have loved him from the very first album. That man is talented. I'm definitely going to continue to listen to Chris Brown.
Okay.
That one I'm not giving up.
He just never appealed to me.
Yeah, and that's fair.
Yeah.
And that's fair.
So it wasn't hard for me to not listen.
Right.
That makes it very easy. Like, even with Kendrick, because he did the first Black Panther soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
I hated it. I hate what he did with that soundtrack. So I made my own.
One better though.
I like the song better. So I made my own like playlist soundtrack because I was like, I just didn't like it. How are you gonna have what's his name on there talking about Slab on my knob on the Black Panther? Shut up! What? Like,
yeah. Hey.
So anyway, and then right after that, what was it? Beyonce's "Black Is King" had come out, and I was like, "This is what I wanted for Black Panther," because like, where are the Afro beats?
Yeah, they gave it to us on that second one for sure.
Yeah,
but who else? Like, I can't remember who else, but yeah, when we have to talk about those things on the industry talk or whatever, I do bring up that question, like, okay, so are we gonna continue to listen or not? So I do pose that question. Usually they're like, yeah, I'm still gonna listen. So yeah, I mean, people can separate. Like, I know the whole thing with Bill Cosby. I saw that shit coming because he had just got TV Land, and when all the allegations started really coming out, and I was like, you know what? Let me go to Amazon and get this whole box set, because what I'm not going to do is live my life without the Cosby Show. I'm not doing it. So yeah, because I saw that shit coming. But now it's like on Bounce and on
reruns.
Yeah, it's on another one of them black rerun channels. So they are.
See, it was
on TV1.
I love that show. Like, I used to watch the show all the time.
Which one?
The Cosby Show.
Oh,
the Cosby Show and Different World. Had that whole hour block.
They did. Yeah, and yeah, I'm just me not watching the Cosby Show. Absolutely not.
I actually stopped really caring about him as a celebrity when he was doing all that respectability politics speeches at colleges or high schools or whatever. I was like, oh
yeah. I mean, I wasn't in the building for that.
No.
I don't know if you remember. Maybe I told you, maybe I didn't. But when we were in college, so that was around the time that he was going around making those speeches and stuff like that, right? And so that year I was there is when the Larry Elder Show was on.
Oh God.
And so the Larry Elder Show had he had this rapper on there that's from Kansas City. His name was Fat Tone, R.I.P. to Fat Tone. And then he followed up with him again and had this other, I guess he was from Kansas City. I never heard of him, but his name was Large Pad. Okay. Don't know where that came from. But
like a maxi?
That's where I always went with it. But but yeah, so he had Fat Tone on there twice. So the first time was by himself, the second time was with the dude Large Pad. And they were basically on there to talk about this whole thing that, you know, this controversy that Bill Cosby had been saying about pulling your pants up and all this type of stuff, right? Well, I emailed the Larry Elder Show and gave my opinion about this whole situation.
Okay.
And the producer called me and we had a conversation about it.
Oh, wow.
Yep. And that happened like, I probably was down there maybe like a month after, like, it was probably like about a month.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I don't know if I had ever told you that or not, but yeah.
No.
That had happened.
Wow.
So, yeah.
All right.
And he was like, well, what you? Right. Yeah.
We're going an hour 45.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't even paying attention to the time. Michael says, what? Yeah. Yeah, I did. So.
You know,
but yeah, just a little sprinkle there. But yeah, so that is episode 55 of Roomies Review the Movies, and we will see you guys for episode 56.
Yes, for Biosphere.
Biosphere. Bye.